Alright, just forewarning you guys, on this video, there isn't any fishing action. Alright, so if you're looking for the fishing action, stay tuned for maybe tomorrow's video. Alright, but if you guys are interested in hearing what I got going on today, some ideas I have for the channel, and some upgrades on my hobie kayak, then stay tuned. Let's see here. Fast forward to this section right here if you want to just see the cradle system that I got for my hobie Outback, which is a 2022. But with that said, without further ado, let me get into it. Alright, so one of the big reasons why I didn't go fishing today is, well, first of all, if you've been watching my videos and the last two videos, which if you haven't, you should go watch them. I'll put the links in the last 2 days in the description. But yeah, epic bluefish fishing has been epic in Port Canaveral on the rocks, but those rocks, they're slippery. Be careful. But anyway, I had planned to go out for day 3 bluefish because, hey, if they're biting and they're there, you might as well. So I had planned to get up early this morning, fish that outgoing tide, but I woke up in the middle of the night to go use the restroom and I could barely walk. My hip, especially my right hip, was just really bad. I mean, it was already sore yesterday. I don't know if it was from standing on the rocks or what, or just walking so much or whatnot, but yeah, I woke up and it was bad. It's feeling a little better now, but I do have some bad hips. Lately I've just been pushing it too much. I absolutely enjoy going fishing and making content and putting it out there, and that's what I've been doing lately. If you've been watching my videos, I've been going out almost every weekday, especially, and I'm hiking a few miles each time. Especially the last 2 days, I'm climbing rocks. I'm doing everything. And the flip side of it that you guys don't see too is when I come home, I got to clean all my gear because the fishing is so different. You're using all different types of stuff. So you got to clean gear, switch it out, and you know, so I don't spend so much time getting ready the day before and all that. You know, I try and keep my stuff as organized as possible. My ADD organization, it's my system, it works. Which I'll do a video on that one of these days to show you guys my system and how I keep my fishing gear. Anyway, today's video, see, I get on these rants and raves. Like I said, you guys are all my friends. You guys are the ones I look forward to talking to. So, and I appreciate all of you guys for watching and commenting and emailing me and all that kind of stuff. It definitely keeps me going. And yeah. So anyway, without further ado, let me get into what we got going on today. Okay, so for some of you that are just looking for that hobie cradle upgrade that I did, this is the part where you want to check it out. So this is a topic for debate these days, and it's storing your kayak. And a lot of people will store them like this on plastic PVC bunks. And you'll have guys say, hey, I've stored my kayak for this many years and this many miles, and I've never had a problem. But then you also get a group of guys that say that they stored their kayak like that and they did get cracks. Or there's reports of if Hobie, for instance, like I have a Hobie, if Hobie hears that you're storing your kayak on PVC bunks, which they don't recommend, they won't honor the warranty. If there is a crack or something like that, they'll say, well, how are you storing it? And if they know that, or they see that you've been storing it that way, they say, nope, because you're not supposed to. So it's definitely a topic for debate. And I was looking into it, trying to figure out what I do. And obviously, for one, the first number one rule with your kayak is you never use, what are they, drawing a blank on the name right now, the type of ratchet straps. You never want to use ratchet straps on your kayak because it's too easy to over tighten. If you use ratchet straps, you can over tighten it, over click it very easily and lead. And that's one of the biggest things they say is don't use what I like to use is like a cam strap. Those have a little bit more give and you're less likely to over tighten it. But still, don't store your kayak, especially if you are using the PVC or maybe wooden with carpet bunks. Don't store your kayak long term tightened down. You know, when you get to where you need to be or you get home, I always loosen it up. Any bungees too, I unhook the bungees, because you're just going to increase the life of those bungees. And obviously you don't want to store your kayak that way. Now, for me, I have the trailer. I keep it on the trailer. I have it cable locked to the trailer. Then the trailer, it's got a wheel lock and everything, and it sits there and it's covered. But I want to keep this hobie in good shape, so I'm storing it on. I had it on PVC. Now, like I said, I got guys telling me. No, we're letting that car go by. Anyway, I have got guys telling me, hey, don't worry about it. You know, I've been storing it for this many years on PVC and no problem. But then I also have the crowd that says, hey, don't do it, don't risk it. And then you also have hobies say, right? And I have a hobie. So the other alternative that hobie recommends, of course, is either storing it differently, but if you're going to store it on a kayak or something like I have, they have these cradles that are molded to fit your kayak. Now you need to make sure you get the right model. I think it's 2019 and below has a model, and 2019 and up has a model. But of course, you know, it looks something like this. That'll fit your kayak. It fits perfectly, and then it has little like pads that you put in here. But the reason why it took me so long to get it is, you know how much they want for a set of these? A little over $300. Right. So, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people just don't do it. So I had a choice. You know, I usually have a little piggy bank I put a little bit of extra cash into and save up for something fun. And I'll save up for some new gear and some new fishing gear and a new reel. But instead of the fun stuff, I figure, hey, let's take care of what we got. So once I saved up enough, I ordered these. And since mine is a Hobie 2022 kayak, I got the 2019 and up model. And yeah, it looks like a pretty easy installation. So we're gonna tackle that today, and we're gonna basically bolt these right onto the trailer. So that's the goal today. Just baby my hip, kind of you know, be a baby about it and take care of it today. But we're just gonna do some maintenance on the trailer, on some gear, put this new cradle system on the kayak, and then, like I said, I'm not gonna be so worried about, you know, tying the kayak down on the trailer and going long distances. You know, now there's just no worry about it. You know, like I said, it's a topic of debate on, you know, oh, that's just, don't waste the money on it, or it is worth it, or whatnot. So you have to make the decision for that. Me personally, I'm blessed to be in a situation to where it only took me a couple months to save up for that. You know, I mean, I could have bought it earlier, but, you know, it's just one of those things where I just didn't want to drop the money on it. So I was like, hey, when I save up to it, I'll get it. So I'll leave that up for you guys. Like I said, you don't have to. There's plenty of people that say you don't have to, but just keep in mind that with at least Hobie anyway, if they find out that you are putting it or storing it on the PVC, they might give you a little hassle. So anyway, let's get this thing on. I lost my train of thought there for a second. But yeah, so we got our plate, we got our cradle system. We're gonna put that on, and maybe if I'm feeling up to it tomorrow, we'll take the kayak out. And like I said, the next trip I plan to do is Turkey Creek. So anyway, gonna run to the hardware store real quick, grab the, you know, the hardware that I need, a few bolts, nuts, and all that kind of stuff to put this on, and a new drill bit to drill into the metal. But I figured today we're just gonna vlog it and install these cradle systems. So anyway, guys, let's get after it. All right, so we just got back from the hardware store. I think we got everything we need to put on those cradles, some hardware, a drill bit to drill into the trailer, and let's go get back and get after it. since I've got everything off, I figure, hey, it's a good time to hit up some chips, some rust spots. What we're gonna do is we're gonna grind off all that rust, and then we're gonna put some primer on it, and I bought an extra thing of paint, so we're just gonna touch things up while everything's off. Usually when you got everything off like this, is a good time to just do some preventative maintenance and yeah, clean up stuff. So we'll get after it. Forgot to hit the record button. Primer. All the spots that we just grinded up. Let that dry. And then what we'll do is we'll screw in our new holes for the new cradle, and then we'll paint it. Alright, so before you start drilling the holes in the kayak, you want to figure out the placement, because these are not going to be the same. They are slightly tapered, so there is a front and there is a back. So what you're going to want to do is definitely place these. No, see, it goes this way. Now, as you guys can see here, right, this would fit, but if you had it turned this way, wouldn't it? You can see right there, right? So there is a slight taper to where these go. So this is right about the area right there that it's going to want to go at. So you want to figure out all your placement before you put this on your trailer, and then we're going to mark through here. But like I said, if you had this flipped, so you want to make sure you check everything and all the placement first before you start drilling and bolting things down. Let's check out the front too. See, the front one's a little bit different. So you want to, again, this one goes this way, because look, if you had it reversed, right, wouldn't work. So again, you want to figure out placement before you drill these in. Okay, slight problem. So because these are molded to fit exactly on a certain place on the kayak, the downfall is you're limited to the bars. So spacing wise fits fine if I use these two, right? But the problem is this bar is a little bit, as you can see, lower than these bars are. So when I put the kayak on, what's happening is the bottom is just barely hitting this. So we're gonna need to find a way to raise this up some, maybe some washers or another bar. I'm not sure yet, but we're gonna have to figure that out. So, all right. So I kind of added some spacers to it, brought this up a little bit, so it should be fine. Either way, I think after we paint this, I might put a little foam or pad thing here just in case for when you're pulling it up. But let's paint it. All right, one of the other things that I'm gonna add to this, just for extra safe measure, some pipe insulation foam, because sometimes when you're wheeling it on up, it hits this first bar right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna zip tie some here, and then even though these spacers should allow it to pass over this without hitting it, I'm still gonna put a piece of foam here too, just for extra safe measure. But as you can see here, I went with the spacers here. You guys see that? Hang on. Lizards are everywhere. Anyway, so what we did is we did the spacers. We also touched up any spots that needed to be touched up. All right, and then the next thing I plan on doing is we are going to make sure we lube and grease up these leaf springs. I got some, it's like a graphite dry lubricant, and that should help prevent any of this rust from getting any worse. So, yep. Okay, last step is putting these rubber pads on those. Should be the very, very last step because they stick on, so you don't want to be rearranging everything. So make sure everything fits properly, put the kayak on there, do all that stuff before you put the pads on. All right, I've warned you. All right, so for the last one, what you're gonna wanna do is cut out the middle piece. So you have two different pieces. You're cutting out the middle piece and it'll fit perfect right there. All right, next day, still don't go out fishing, but my hips are definitely feeling better, so that's good. Maybe I'll try and squeeze in a little fishing this weekend. The weather's supposed to be nice, but it's probably gonna be really, really busy, but hey, it's better than nothing. But anyway, as you saw, once we got those cradles positioned, the one problem that I encounter, that you may encounter too when setting these up on your trailer, is that the whole bottom of the kayak, you know, it kind of tapers off. So these cradles have to be facing the correct way, for one, and two, they only fit basically on one spot of the kayak. So the spacing in between those two cradles needs to fall where you have the bars on your trailer. So if it's not lining up with the bars, like, you know, luckily I had a smaller bar in the front and it does line up perfectly with the next one back. Also keep in mind, stainless steel galvanized is what you got to do when you do these trailers. Otherwise, you know, things are going to rust out and they're going to be compromised. So keep that in mind. We're going to put that spacer on and we're going to give it a go. Of course, if you can't line it up just right, what you're going to end up wanting to do is do some type of a connector piece, whether it's wood, like a wood bunk or something, and do it lengthwise. And then you could really put it anywhere you want it. So I did think about doing that too, but like I said, I was lucky enough where I'm pretty sure this is going to work out perfect. So we'll see. If not, like I said, we can always add a vertical run of wood, maybe and you know, then we'll be able to put it exactly where we want it. But anyway, I'm gonna try and finish that up, and yeah, like I said, hopefully I was hoping to get the kayak out this week, but it looks like it's gonna be next week. I still got to replace the license plate holder too. Anyway, just giving you an update.